Welcome back to Good Sports for You, where we are talking about good sports for you. And today we are coming at you with another tier list video. And today's tier list is going to be each team's GOAT. And this is by Baseball Reference WAR, which is wins above replacement, which basically measures of how good a player is, right? So this is going to be for their time with that respective team. Like, for example, Randy Johnson, I'm not looking at his career as a whole. I'm not taking in anything to do with the Mariners or like the Yankees or the Giants or whatever. I'm only looking at his time with the Diamondbacks, right? So we got S tier for the best of the best. We got A, we got B, we got C, we got D. I don't have an F tier because I felt it was disrespectful to put somebody who is the best player in their team's franchise into F tier, right? So, to start it off, but before we do, like, comment, subscribe, do all those things. But to start it off, we got Randy Johnson. So, Randy Johnson, obviously one of the best players ever. He's a 4-time Cy Young winner, but he didn't spend his entire career with the Diamondbacks, as we know, and he only has 52.6 career WAR with them. And honestly, his numbers, like 2,000 plus strikeouts, would justify putting him in C tier, but he has the accolades and the impact to go into that B tier. Next up, we have Eddie Plank for the A's. And Eddie Plank, great player for those of you who don't know, 74.5 career WAR, a 2.39 ERA, right? But I don't think I can justify putting him in the C tier, same tier as Randy Johnson. So for that reason, he is going to go into that C tier. Like, the career numbers are fantastic, just around 2,000 strikeouts. But his WAR isn't even close to Randy Johnson, and his accolades certainly aren't there. But he had a little bit more longevity, but he didn't spend his entire time with one team, so that justifies a C tier. Next up, we're going to have Hank Aaron, my personal GOAT, my favorite player of all time, in Henry Aaron. He won an MVP with the Braves. He has 142.8 career WAR with the Braves. Easily justify an S tier. Most home runs ever at the time of his retirement. 733 home runs with the Braves alone. Well over 3,500 hits, well over 2,000 RBIs. In fact, over 2,200 RBIs and a 310 batting average. Easily an S tier, not even close. Next up, we're going to have Cal Ripken Jr. He's going to be our first A tier because the numbers aren't enough to justify putting him in S tier. Numbers aren't bad enough to justify putting him in B tier. And also, he is a career Oriole. When you think about the Orioles, you're going to think about Cal Ripken Jr. That's just the way it is, right? 95.9 career WAR, 2-time MVP, over 3,000 hits, over 400 home runs. And he did this all in the Orioles uniform in that orange color. And obviously, he was a shortstop, so those numbers are looking even better. Next up, we have one of the best players to ever live, and that is going to be Ted Williams. He's going to be an easy S tier, 2-time MVP, career-long Red Sox, over 120 career WAR, under 3,000 hits though, and a little bit over 500 home runs, but a 344 batting average. He could have been the best player to ever live, quite frankly. He could have been even a step above like Hank Aaron, but he obviously spent time in his prime years in the WAR. So, but I think he's an easy S tier, no reason to go below that. Next up, we're going to have Cap Anson with the Cubs. He had an absolutely phenomenal career, right? But it's a long time ago. I don't think that he has the cultural impact that some of these other players are going to have. And he didn't spend his entire time with the Cubs. He has over 3,000 hits, though, and just approaching 85 career WAR. He's going to be a C tier just because he doesn't have the cultural impact. He doesn't have the accolades. And he doesn't have like that recognition that comes with being a Cub, right? I don't think people are thinking about him when they're thinking about the Cubs. They're thinking of an Ernie Banks. They're thinking of a Ryan Sandberg. I don't think he comes up in the conversation. Next up, we're going to have Luke Appling, right? He's an interesting discussion because he has 77.2 career WAR. However, he was a lifelong White Sox. But again, similar to Cap Anson, similar to Eddie Plank, I don't think has as much recognition to being the best White Sox ever. But because he's a lifetime White Sox, I'm going to put him in that B tier. I don't think he's up there with the Cal Ripken Jr.'s of the world. But he's a Hall of Famer, obviously. I think I said this, but 77.2 career WAR. Under 3,000 hits, though. I don't think I can justify putting him in A, but I think he's above these guys in C. Next up, another interesting case is going to be Pete Rose. He wasn't a career-long Red, but he's a great player, whether you like him or not. I personally am not a huge fan of his, but he won an MVP. He has well over 3,000 hits with the Reds, over 78 career WAR with them. He's a B tier for me just because he didn't stick around with one team like Cal Ripken Jr., and I don't think he's at the level of Cal Ripken Jr., quite frankly. Next up, we're going to have Nap Lajoie. Similar to the other old guys, we're going to have him in that C tier. With the Cleveland organization, He puts up almost 80 career WAR, which is absolutely fantastic, which could justify him being way higher. But he doesn't have the cultural impact. I don't think when people are thinking of the best Guardians ever, I don't think Knapp is going to be in that conversation. He has over 2,000 career hits, 155 OPS plus, so he's 55% better than league average at the time, but I mean, he's just not at the level of some of these other players, and he doesn't have the accolades and recognition. Next up, we're going to have Todd Helton with the Rockies. He's an interesting discussion as well, because he's a lifelong one team, which definitely helps his case. He went into the Hall of Fame as a Rocky, right? But he has under 62 career WAR. He has less than 3,000 hits, sitting at 2,500 plus, right? He has well over 300 batting average. He has under 400 home runs. So, like, there's some give, there's some take that could definitely justify him being in this C tier. However, I think when people think of the Rockies, they think of Todd Helton, right? I think I've got to put him B tier because he is without a doubt the best, like, player in a Rockies uniform, like, all time, like, as a Rocky, right? I mean, Larry Walker obviously is incredible, but I think when people think Rockies, they think of Todd Helton. Next up, we have Ty Cobb. He's an easy S tier. I don't think we need to discuss it. With the Tigers, he's one of the best players ever, won an MVP, had well over 3,000 hits, closing in on 4,000, honestly, with the Tigers alone. Over 2,000 runs, batting average of a 368. I mean, come on, well over 800 stolen bases with the Tigers organization. One of the best players to ever live. He's going to be an easy S tier. Next up, we have Jeff Bagwell. I'm going to slot him in A because, I mean, MVP, Hall of Famer, lifelong Astro, just under 80 career WAR. Some of the counting stats aren't quite there for him, though. 2,300 plus hits, not even close to that 3,000 mark that you like to see. On just under 450 home runs and a batting average just below 300. I think it's justifiable to put him in that A tier. I mean, Cal Ripken Jr. and him, there's definitely a difference, but I mean, there are levels to A tier as there is with anything, but I think that he is definitely a step above in terms of career with one team than Randy Johnson, step above, again, career with one team than Pete Rose, and I think he's above just pure career with Todd Helton, and I think he's above with cultural impact for Luke Appling, so I don't feel good putting him B tier, so I think he's a good A tier. It looks like, I'm just looking at the list, it looks like we got a long stretch of A tiers because George Brett is also going to be in that same conversation. I mean, first ballot Hall of Famer, lifelong Royal, MVP, 88.6 career WAR, over 3,100 hits, I mean, over 300 home runs and over a 300 batting average. One of the best players to ever live and easily the best Royal to ever live. And when people talk about the best Royal, they talk about George Brett. He holds like every single record by a Royals player ever. Next up, we have Mike Trout. He is going to be our first active player. He's going to be an A tier easily as well. 3-time MVP. He's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's approaching 90 career WAR at 87.5. However, some of the career stats aren't quite there for him right now. He has under 2,000 hits. He has only 404 home runs. Only 404, right? I mean, that's an absurd amount. And I mean, he has an OPS plus of 169, so he's 69% better than the league average player, which is really nice. But I think he definitely is deserved of that A tier. Next up, we're going to have Clayton Kershaw. Very similar to Mike Trout. Another active player, 3-time Cy Young, and an MVP. Over 80 career WAR, a 2.53 ERA, over 3,000 strikeouts, and he did it all in that Dodgers uniform. So I think it's without a doubt an easy A tier. Next up, we're going to have Giancarlo Stanton. Unfortunately, he's going to be our first D tier, just simply because the numbers aren't there. It's like the Marlins, you need somebody to be your best ever, and it is going to be him. I mean, he won an MVP. He doesn't even have 40 career WAR, though. And I mean, he doesn't even have 1,000 hits or even 300 home runs in a Marlins uniform. But he did win that MVP, which was a fantastic season. But I think he's an easy D tier for me. Next up, we're going to have Robin Yount. Again, similar thing. First ballot Hall of Famer, 3,000 hits, 77.4 career WAR. 2-time MVP, over 250 home runs from the shortstop and center field position, a fantastic defender. He's an easy A tier, lifelong Brewer, the best Brewer to ever live, and it isn't particularly close. I know my team's history, and he's easily the best. Next up, we're going to have Walter Johnson. Walter Johnson, for those of you who don't know, he's being categorized in that Minnesota Twins organization because of his time with the Washington Senators. And believe it or not, he spent his entire time with one team. And for that reason, he is an easy S tier. I mean, you look at his career numbers, he has 167.8 career WAR, which puts him among the best ever, and he did that all with one organization. He has a career ERA of 2.17, over 3,500 strikeouts. He was the best pitcher of his generation, and it wasn't even particularly close, and he did it all with one team. Easy S tier. Next up, we're going to have Tom Seaver for the New York Mets. 3-time Cy Young, 76.1 career WAR with the Mets, a 2.57 ERA, over 2,500 strikeouts. However, he wasn't a lifelong Met, which I don't think I can justify putting him in this A tier. If he was a lifelong Met, he would have easily been in this A tier, maybe even pushing S tier. But he spent a lot of time outside of that Mets uniform. But he has the accolades to go up against a Randy Johnson, one less Cy Young. He has the career numbers to go against with their respective teams, with a Todd Helton, with a Luke Appling, with a Pete Rose. But, I mean, he doesn't have the career numbers with that team of a George Brett, of a Mike Trout, or of a Kershaw even, if you want to just look at pitchers. So for that reason, he is going to be a B tier. Next up, we're going to have Babe Ruth. He's an easy S tier. I don't think I need to explain myself. I mean, one of the best players ever, arguably the best player ever, 142.7 career WAR, 2,500 plus hits in the Yankees uniform, 659 home runs, 349 batting average, and a 209 OPS plus. And I know I've been talking about OPS plus a lot. OPS plus is on base plus slugging, and it adjusts for the era. So what that means is if 100 is average, that means he was 109% better than the league average player during his time with the Yankees, which would be the highest for any career ever, right? So I think without a doubt he's an S tier. Next up, we're going to have Mike Schmidt. He's an interesting conversation as well, because one of the best players ever, 3-time MVP, 106.9 career WAR. He spent his entire time with that one team. When you're looking at a full career, is he at that level of a Babe Ruth, of a Ty Cobb, of a Walter Johnson, Ted Williams, Hank Aaron? No, he's not. But I think he has a better career than any of these guys here. I think he's better than Cal Ripken Jr., better than Jeff Bagwell, George Brett, Mike Trout, Clayton Kershaw, and Robin Yount. So for that reason, because he spent his entire time with one team, I am going to put him in that S tier because he has the additional bump of doing it with one team, and he has the career numbers that are better than these other guys. 3-time MVP, like I said, well over 100 WAR. His hits are a little bit low at over 2,200. He has almost 550 home runs. He was also one of the best defensive players ever. A 148 OPS plus. I mean, he's like an inner circle top 25 player of all time. And the fact that he did it with one team just puts him a step above that A tier. Next up, we're going to have Honus Wagner. He's also going to be an easy S tier. For those of you who don't know, because I didn't, he actually didn't spend his entire career with the Pirates. But he does have 120.4 career WAR, almost 3,000 hits. I don't think I need to justify myself. The batting average of 328. I mean, come on, you can't get much better than that. I mean, it was him and Ty Cobb as the best players of that generation. Next up, we're going to have Tony Gwynn. He's an interesting conversation. His career numbers of 69.2 career WAR, that, like, the WAR is low. The hits are there, obviously, at over 3,100 hits. And a batting average of 338, which would put him in, like, the conversations of, like, a Ty Cobb, Honus Wagner in terms of batting average. He has a higher batting average than Honus Wagner, which is just absurd to think about. Like, his numbers justify a B tier. However, he spent his entire career with one team, which I still think kind of puts him in that B tier. But he is Mr. Padre. When you think about the Padres organization, when you think about San Diego athletes, you only think of Tony Gwynn. And for that reason, he is going to be in A tier. Because the facts of the facts is that when you think of these other teams, you can think of other guys, right? When you think of a Todd Helton, you could think of Larry Walker for the Rockies. You could think of Nolan Arenado or even Troy Tulowitzki. When you're thinking about the Diamondbacks, I mean, Luis Gonzalez comes to mind. Ketel Marte could get in that conversation. With the Reds, you may even think of like a Johnny Bench potentially, a Barry Larkin, all those guys. With the White Sox, Luke Appling, I mean, I don't really think you have much of a conversation. I mean, you could talk about like a Frank Thomas, you know, Paul Konerko, you could even get into those conversations when you're talking about it. Mark Burley, you know, for the heck of it. So I think he's a step above those guys. I mean, Tom Seaver, I mean, he was the franchise, but he spent such a large time out of the Mets organization. And for that reason, I got to put Tony Gwynn in that A tier, even though his career WAR may be lower than some of these guys in that B tier. Next up, we're going to have Willie Mays. I mean, without a doubt, S tier, one of the best players to ever live, probably the most complete player ever, 154.6 career WAR with the Giants organization, well over 3,000 hits, two-time MVP, well over 600 home runs with the Giants, almost 650, over 300 stolen bases, a 157 OPS plus. Yes, it's an easy S tier. Next up, we're going to have Ken Griffey Jr. He's the best Mariner to ever live. But you could have a conversation of like an Edgar Martinez is in that conversation. Randy Johnson. Julio Rodriguez, when all is said and done, is going to be in that conversation. Alex Rodriguez is in that conversation. He didn't spend his entire career with the Mariners. He did win an MVP. He had 70.6 career WAR. He doesn't even have 2,000 hits. He has 417 home runs. Like, when you're looking at it, like, the numbers are similar to a Mike Trout. You know, it's less career WAR, but I mean, it's comparable by a lot of things. However, he didn't spend his entire time with the Mariners organization, and for that reason, he is going to be in that B tier, although I love the kid. I think he's one of the best players ever. Next, we're going to have Stan the Man Musial. Easy S tier. Spent his entire career with the Cardinals organization. 128.6 career WAR. Well over 3,500 hits. Almost 500 home runs. I don't think I need to justify myself. Next up, we're going to have Evan Longoria with the Tampa Bay Rays. Sitting at 51.7 career WAR with them, well less than 2,000 hits. In fact, less than 1,500 hits. Less than 300 home runs, closer to 250. 270 batting average. I mean, I think he's a D tier. I don't think that he has the numbers of this C tier, and he doesn't have the accolades to justify him going any higher. So for that reason, he's going to be a solid D tier. Next up, we're going to have Pudge Rodriguez. Pudge is an interesting conversation because he had 50 career WAR, which is lower than Evan Longoria. He has an MVP, though, which would put him ahead of Evan Longoria. He has a higher career WAR than puts him above Giancarlo Stanton, but he also has an MVP, so that makes him par. So it's like there's some give and some take. The numbers aren't really there. He has well less than 2,000 career hits. He has less than 300 home runs, sitting at 217. He was doing it from the from the catching position, though. So I mean, I can justify it somewhat there. I'm waffling between C and D. Because on the one hand, he has the accolades to put him above Evan Longoria, and he has the career ERA to put him above Giancarlo Stanton. On the other hand, he has less career WAR than Evan Longoria. So it's like, it's tough. It's tough. But also, like, catchers, I feel like, kind of get docked for WAR. So for that reason, I'm going to put him C tier. And, I mean, you can complain if you want. Complain down in the comment section, you know. He's in the Hall of Fame, though. I don't know. I don't know if he's at the level of these guys, though. I'm going to put him D tier. I'm making an executive decision. He's going down to D tier because I'm looking at these next guys, and these guys I feel like are D tier. Dave Stieb, I mean, he's not in the Hall of Fame. Believe it or not, he's not a lifelong Blue Jay. If he was a lifelong Blue Jay, I would put him in this C tier. But I mean, 56.9 career WAR. A 3.42 ERA isn't going to get the job done. So for that reason, I mean, I got to put him in D tier. Just because he didn't have a lifelong team. And the career numbers are they're good, but they're not like fantastic. Not for me to justify him any higher. And finally, we're going to have Gary Carter with the Washington Nationals organization, obviously former known as the Montreal Expos. Awesome career, 55.8 career WAR with them, less than 1,500 hits, though. And I mean, from the catching position, that's fantastic. But he doesn't have the accolades like Pudge Rodriguez. If there's one guy I could justify putting C tier, it would be Pudge Rodriguez because he has the MVP, which neither any of these guys have except for Giancarlo Stanton, who's well a tier below in terms of WAR. So, I mean, it's tough. I mean, Gary Carter, like, excellent career, but I think he's solidly D tier. Am I going to change Pudge? No, I'm not. So this is what I'm ending up with. In the C tier, we have the best of the best, or guys who spent their entire careers with one team and are inner circle Hall of Famers, like a Mike Schmidt, like a Stan Musial, and Ted Williams. Next up, we have A tier, guys who are really first ballot Hall of Famers. I don't know about Jeff Bagwell, but I know all the other guys were or will be, right? Who are clearly a step above these guys in terms of their career with that team, and they spent their entire time with one organization, or have a huge impact like Tony Gwynn specifically. Next up in B tier, these are guys who either have a big impact, their accolades definitely justify them getting here, or like a Todd Helton or Luke Appling, they've spent their entire career with one team, or they have the accolades like a Tom Seaver, like a Randy Johnson. I think that's fair. Next up, we're going to have C tier. This is kind of the tier that got reserved for kind of the older guys, you know. All these guys, awesome careers, but I don't think that they have the impact as some of these guys up in B tier. And finally, in D tier, we have the guys who it's like, oh, nice, like, that's your guy, you know. Evan Longoria, obviously, he's the Rays guy, but I mean, I can't justify him putting him in C tier. Pudge Rodriguez, there's an argument because he won the MVP. Dave Stieb, I don't think there's much of an argument. Gary Carter, similar thing. I mean, he's in the Hall of Fame, but he spent a lot of time with the Mets, and I think he gets remembered a lot for that Mets team. And then next up, we have Giancarlo Stanton. I mean, I just think if there was an F tier, like I said, I'm not going to make an F tier. He would be the only one that I would consider putting in that F tier. But he does at that MVP, which is really good. But that's what I got for you. I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you made it this far in the video. I appreciate it so much. Leave your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. If you think that Tom Seaver should have been up in A tier and Tony Gwynn should have been down to B. If you think Pudge Rodriguez should have been D tier, if you think Cal Ripken Jr. should have been S tier, let me know down below. I appreciate you guys all so much, and have a good one, and I'm out. Peace.